Good morning, everybody. This is Miss Cruz, and I'm welcoming you to our phonics class. The day for today is April 21, and the year is 2020. Now, get ready for the class. Don't forget to bring your book, your notebook, and your pencil. We have a new lesson today, and we are going to learn a new lot of things about phonics. Okay, let's start the class. Today we are going to talk about inflectional endings. And the objective of this class is that the student can be able to identify the inflectional endings S, ES, ED, and ING words. Now, we call a base word to a word to which you can add an ending. That is called a base word. Okay, an inflectional ending changes the form of a base word. And here we have our first example, work. You add an inflectional ending and the word is going to change to words because you add an S to the word. That's why you can see that the letter S at the end of the work, it's in green because you add the inflectional ending S. Now look the next one. This one you are going to add the inflectional ending ED. So the word is going to be work. And then you add to the base word ING. And then you have the working. That's the form of a base word when you add ing. So the base word is work, works. It's the inflectional ending S, work. The inflectional ending is ed, and working, the inflectional ending is ing. That's why I write these letters in green, because that's the inflectional endings. Now, let's go to the next one. When a word ends with one vowel followed by a consonant, the consonant is usually double when adding ed or ing. So this is a rule that you need to follow when you add the inflectional ending to a base word. So remember that when a word ends with one vowel followed by a consonant, the consonant is going to be double. It means that you are going to write the consonant 2 times. Look the first example that we have, stop. You see that you have a vowel and then you have a consonant. And the rules say that the consonant is going to be double. That's why you have P, P. And then you have the inflectional ending ed. Look what happened to the next one. You have stopping. You have double P. And then you have ing, which is the inflectional ending. Look the next example. It's let. Okay, you have the vowel and then you have the consonants. And the rules say that you need to double the vowel. That's why you have double D. And then you have the ed, which is the inflectional ending. And then in the next one, you have ing after double D. Okay, let's go to page number 3. Okay, on page number 3, we are continue talking about inflectional endings. Now, look to number 1. When you have a word that ends with a consonant followed by Y, change the Y to I before adding ed. Do not change the Y when you add in ing. Okay, let's see the examples. Look here, really careful. The first one that you have is hurry. Hurry. According with the instruction, when you have a consonant that is followed by Y, you need to change the Y to I. Look what happened right here. You take out the Y and you change it to I, and then you add ed. But when you add the inflectional ending ing, you are going to keep the Y and you are just going to add ing. Okay, that's why you have hurry and then you have hurrying. Study is the next example. Look, change the Y to I and then you add ed. But when you do with ing, you just keep the Y and then you add ing. Remember this, okay? Now let's go to the next rule. For words that end in S, double S, SH, CH, X, or C, you are going to add ES. Look the first one, reach. The end of this word is CH. And according with the rule, you are going to add ES. That's why you have right here, reach. Bus. Okay, BUS. Remember, right here you are going to apply two rules. You have a vowel that is followed by a consonant, and according with the previous rule on page number 2, you are going to add an extra, a double S, and then you are going to add ES because it's ending in a S. Okay, that's what is going to happen to bus. It's going to change to buses. Look this one, rush. SH is the end of this word. And according with this rule, you are going to add ES. That's why you have rush. Fox, end with the letter X. You add ES according with the instruction. Dress, you are going to add ES because it ends with letter S. So it's going to be dresses. And then you have fix that end with the letter C. You are going to add ES and then you are going to have the word fix. Now, number 3. When a word ends in a consonant followed by Y, change the Y to I, and then you add the ES. A story is one of the cases. You are going to change the Y to an I, and then you are going to add ES. You need to study all these instructions. You need to study of these requirements and rules because you need to apply this on every day. When you speak English, when you write English, you need to practice these rules, okay? Make sure that you understand all of this and practice them. Okay, let's go to page number 4. Okay, the title for this page is Comparative Endings, ER and EST. Now, this is only a review of a lesson that we saw last week or the week before. Okay, now, in many words, the ending ER means more, and it is used to compare two things. When you compare two things, okay, you are going to use ER. Now, here's the first example. Lie and look. The word that you are going to have, it's going to be lighter. You add ER to the word lie because you are going to compare two things. Now, let's read the sentence. This suitcase is lighter than that one. Remember, where you are comparing two things, you have to add ER to the adjective and you have to use the word than, lighter than, heavier than, smaller than, easier than. You always are going to use than when you are comparing two things. It's small, it's smaller. You add er. Now you are going to compare that rule. It's smaller than this one. Smaller than. The next one, wise, wiser. The boy is wiser than the girl. Let's move to the next step. The ending est means must, and it is used to compare three or more things. When you compare, you are going to use est when you are comparing three or more things. When you are comparing two things, you are going to use er. But if you have three or more, you are going to use est. Lie is going to be lightest. This case is the lightest of all three. It's small, it's smallest. That rule is the smallest of all three. Wise, wisest. The boys is the wisest of the classroom. You always are going to have the word the before lightest. Before it's smalls, you're going to have the smallest. The wisest. When you are comparing three or more things, you are going to have the lightest, the smallest, the wisest. And you add est to the adjective. Okay, so this is something that you have to remember and keep it in your mind. On page number 5, you are going to have like a review, a general review of the two lessons that we just finished. The first one is going to be inflectional endings. Remember, inflectional endings are letters added to the end of a word that change its meanings. And the inflectional endings that we learn today were S, ed, ing, er, est. Now, what is a root word? A root word is the basic part of the word that gives the meaning and has no added part. For example, play is a root word or a base word. That is another word that you are allowed to use. Root words or base word. The base word right here is plays, and you add the inflectional ending s, and then you have plays. You add the inflectional ending ed, and you have the word play. Inflectional ending ing, and you have the word playing. Now, remember, when you have a base word and it's going to end in ed and ing, if the last three letters have a vowel in the middle, then you double the consonant and add the word ending. Remember, when you have a word that has a vowel, and then a consonant, you are going to double the consonant, and then you are going to add the ending, the inflectional ending. For example, clap, it's going to be clapping. You double the P. Grab, you double the B, and then you're going to have grab it. Run, you double the N, and then you are going to have running. Stop, you double the P, and then you're going to have a stop. Now, the inflectional ending s, es, and ies. There you have some examples that are the most common nouns that you use, and then you have what is going to happen with the word ending s, sh, ch, x, c, and NSS. And then the last part is going to be N in a consonant Y. If it work like cherry, work N in Y, you're going to change the Y to I, and then you are going to add ES. So don't forget about this and keeping this phrase in your mind. Finally, we are on page number 6, and let me explain you the homework for today. The first thing that you need to do is you need to study the information. Make sure that you copy page 2, 3, 4, and 5 in your notebook. Make sure that you know how the rules work. Make sure that you understand all of this. And if you don't understand or do you have any doubt, please let me know. You need to understand this and you need to practice this. Now, there is a worksheet that I will send in via WhatsApp, and you need to complete that worksheet. That's why you need to understand these 2 lessons, because you are going to complete this worksheet. Now make sure that when you copy your when you copy page 2 through 5 in your notebook, and when you complete the worksheet, make sure that your work is neat and tidy. Okay, this is going to be all for today. I hope you can be healthy, and I hope that your family will be okay. May God protect all of us. I will see you soon, and bye-bye.